Hi, my name is Eline, and with this podcast, I dive deep into the world of chronic illness. What is living with a chronic illness like? What are ways to redefine your purpose when life hit you so hard? How do people do this? I am on the lookout for answers to find out if there is a way to have a life filled with freedom, joy, and happiness, even when it feels like you're a prisoner in your own body. Welcome.
Hello, welcome again.
Hello,
How
are you?
Such an automatic thing to say, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It literally is what everyone does.
Yeah.
But how are you? I mean, you're in a different room to us, so this is quite confusing probably for people that know that we're, a married couple that live together and we've chosen to do this in different rooms.
Yeah, I know. I kind of miss you already, though.
Oh, thanks, Leafia.
Yeah, that's okay. If there's any podcast expert out there, how can we be in the same room and record a podcast together without having an official studio? I would wonder.
Yeah.
If that's
But
you,
for now,
please
we do it
send
like
an
this.
email. Please send an email
Exactly.
to hello@thespooniescommunity.com. All right. I am so happy to be back. It's been a few weeks since the last time that we've recorded.
Yeah, we've had Christmas and New Year since then.
Yeah. I'm super excited, though. Today we'll be talking about the actual Spoonies community, aren't we?
That is the agenda. We're going to talk about what it is that you've been building and what it all means and all of those insights that we're going to be sharing after your story or our story that was 3 episodes long.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, you excited? You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you have it in, for anybody watching, Eline has it in her title. She's Eline, the Spoonies community. So let's start with, I'm going to start with something actually. What is a spoon, a spoonie? What's this mean?
Good point. So Spoonie, the word, was coined by Christine Miserandino, who is a blogger.
Mm-hmm.
And she went for dinner with one of her best friends. That friend had seen her go through her illness journey. I think she had lupus for years and years and years. She was the one going to hospital appointments to, see her at the worst, etc. And she went out for dinner with her, and the friend asked her, I still don't really understand it. How is it that, now we can go out for dinner, but if I were to ask you tomorrow, you could as well have said, no, I cannot do it. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
And Christine Misrandino was like, how on earth is my best friend who followed me through my worst situations still not understanding how this works? So she basically grabbed all of the stuff that was out there in a restaurant, spoons, forks, knives, etc., to explain what Spoonies is. So she basically said a spoon is, for a knife or fork, is an energy point. Sometimes I wake up with 10, sometimes I wake up with 3.
Yeah.
Every task you do takes away an energy point. So it takes away spoons, knives, forks. Meaning, not only the big things, it's not only work takes X amount, exercise takes X amount. It's the little things, getting up out of bed, making yourself a cup of tea, showering. Are you washing your hair? Are you shaving your legs? Are you just going in the shower? Those have different amounts of spoons or energy points that are taken. And so basically people with chronic illness need to determine and play with the amount of spoons that they have. And once they are gone, they're actually gone. And basically that's the moment she put that in a blog that went viral within the chronic illness community. And since then, the people within the chronic illness community calls themselves a spoonie.
Gotcha. And so this is, for an example, you wake up today with 10 spoons.
Yeah.
And does it always start with 10? Like, is there in your world, because I'm guessing this is all very individual, but for you, have you started like thinking about, okay, every day I'm going to start with 10 hypothetical spoons? Or do you sometimes go, oh, today I'm already woken up and I know I've only got 5? Like, is there an average of how this works per person?
It's different for every individual. I know for myself, depends where I'm in my cycle. It depends how I slept. It depends if I've had a lot of pain the night before. I probably have less spoons the day after. For me personally, I don't really work with spoons in terms of like a certain set amount. I just kind of
Yep.
broadly know how many, spoons certain things take. Like I don't wash my hair every single day because I know that I don't have that amount of
Yeah.
spoons available every single
Yeah.
day. So I kind of take it more broadly, but in order to explain it properly, or when you start with this, it is very helpful to have a certain amount. And yes, it
Yeah.
completely changes. It depends on so many variables, which also is why it makes it super hard to plan with a spoonie, because it depends on how you wake up in the morning. And sometimes you think, well, an exercise like yoga can take, I mean, that's already when you're advanced, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
let's take it easier. Making myself lunch would take
Yep.
4 spoons, and
Yep.
actually it ended up taking 8.
Yeah.
And then you don't have much bandwidth anymore for the rest of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, which actually really helped us in those early stages as well, because when we were trying to plan things with family or with friends, but also just plan your day, I remember there's moments where you would say to me, like, I can wake up this morning and, I'll make us a cup of tea, which we have right now because, I'm British and we love the tea. But then it could go a week where that doesn't happen again because you just don't have the energy. And actually, it might be that later on that evening, we're going out to meet someone. So you want to save all of that energy for that. So maybe you use the whole of your day to really relax, not do too much things like online as well, because I'm sure that it's not just physical tasks, but also tasks of doing work or looking at a screen or doing any of that. Does that take away spoons as well?
Yeah, many.
Yeah. Yeah. So if we had something you would try and relax or rest during the day, or even a few days before, especially if we had a trip coming up, like we were going back to the UK or something, we would try and plan in a few days before where we weren't really doing much. We weren't being that social by seeing people, so that you could keep that energy for the next trips. And then I remember when we would arrive in the UK, it'd be like, okay, you might need to go and have a lie down for an hour just to, because we would have gotten a train or a taxi or something, transport to the airport. Getting the bag packed was already using up spoons. Then remembering where passports are and just walking to the car. Yeah,
That's an
you
extra
finding
spoon
a
for me.
passport. That's an extra spoon for you because you lose everything. And then going through the airport itself is a lot because you're in a wheelchair and, we had to navigate thousands of people and then getting onto a plane. All of that was not just physical taxation, but also the mental taxation of, what is going to happen? Who's going to be there to look after us? Is anyone going to meet us at the end of the airplane? Is your wheelchair going to be safe? When you arrive, it's then an hour journey. Then you need to be social. So I remember it was always this planning period that came on through all of us as well.
Yeah. And I actually think that up until today, we kind of still use it. It's kind of
We still
integrated
use it
more
100%.
in our lives. But I really notice how you are as well, like realizing, okay, Linus needs to teach today or needs to work, that you basically do the cooking because I just don't have the energy anymore. Or if you do ask, can I cook a meal in the evening? That I plan things so I don't do anything in the afternoon. Or I start preparing already actually in the afternoon so I don't have to do everything in one go.
Yeah, you would manage it that way. Yeah, I mean, I've become a lot better at this, and I will also hold you accountable to say, hey, maybe don't go and, if we have something going on the next day, I'm like, don't go for that coffee with that friend because that's going to take up a lot of energy and you've already got a lesson or a class or you've got a coaching lesson with someone. So we plan it. Okay, so that's a spoon. That's a good start. Okay, and so you have the Spoonies community. For anyone not listening, what is the Spoonies community all about?
The Spoonies community is a safe place for women to get together, connect, and learn about living with chronic illness.
And
That's
why did you
very
create
short.
it?
So, talking about the spoons, in my worst moments, I do tend to isolate, but that's also because I didn't have the energy to reach out to my friends and then also having to explain what actually was the case or how I am exactly feeling, because the fatigue is it's not like you do a lot and then you're tired. Like the fatigue is different to that. I didn't have the energy, the spoons to do that, which caused me to not reach out, which caused me to isolate myself, which caused me to be quite lonely in points. obviously I had you, I have my family and friends. It has nothing to do with that. It has
Yeah.
to do with the fact that I didn't have the energy to explain to someone who doesn't understand, because honestly, you can only understand up to a certain extent if you don't go through it yourself.
Hmm.
I didn't have the energy to explain in depth how I was feeling when I just needed like a body or a person or, you
Yeah.
know. And so that isolation, and obviously also the recovery journey, it's very lonely. It's very
Hmm.
isolating. It's very insecure. Basically, those things combined, I missed a community with Spoonies. I missed a community with like-minded people
Yeah.
who I didn't need to explain how I was feeling, but who I could just lean on.
Yeah.
With people who truly, truly, truly understood. And so after my second accident, I was already quite clear. I was like, I need to build this community. I need to
Yeah.
build this group of women around me who go through the same. So that's the connect part, the connection part, which is, and my top priority with this is safety.
Hmm.
That's also why I've chosen to keep it women only,
Okay.
because I want the women in there to feel safe to talk about topics like intimacy, motherhood, relationships. You know, there are diagnoses like endometriosis that are female based only.
Yeah.
So I deliberately chose to have a women's only community because I needed to
Hmm.
be a safe space. So the connection and safety is one thing. And then on the other part, I also, because of my journey and because of the experiences and because of spiritual experiences, but also alternative and holistic sessions that I've done,
Yeah.
I know how much money it costs, and I wanted
Yeah.
to give a space to women to make it accessible
Yeah.
to join or try out these sessions as well without
Hmm.
immediately having to book a program or book like a
Yeah.
one-on-one session.
Yeah. Or retreats and stuff like that. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's slowly how the ideas started to come together. So I built a Spoonies community. It exists out of 4 parts. One is
Hmm.
the Spoonie support. That is a
Hmm.
Telegram group chat that we have, where
And why
basically
Telegram?
it's a bit more it's a bit better for communities, I think, because we have a
Okay.
community and then we have
Hmm.
different topics within the community, like asking questions, daily gratitude,
Okay.
sessions.
Yeah.
And so you could click on that and that basically groups together certain subjects.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So that's the Spoonie support. That Telegram group is a group with all of the women who are in there, and we are basically there 24/7. We also have
Hmm.
a list of emojis. So if you don't have energy, but you want to ask for some help,
Yeah.
you basically put like, I think that's an alarm bell, like an alarm bell in the chat, and then people who read it, and that's the beauty of this. There's always someone online. There's always someone
Yeah.
available. Just messages to say, hey, how are you? You okay? I'm here for you if you need me. And that is
Hmm.
so beautiful. That's so beautiful because, you always have someone there.
Yeah. You always see people helping and
Yeah.
sharing their thoughts. So
Yeah.
sorry, continue. There's 4 stages. So
Yeah.
that's stage 1.
Yeah. Spoonie Sports. Then we have Spoonies Connect. That is our monthly connect call, which exists out of meditation. And then it's basically an open stage for group coaching. So I
Yeah.
will ask people like, how have you been? How's it going?
Yeah.
Obviously I know the women right now. So I know someone just bought a house. So I'm like asking, how's the house ongoing? So it's also talking about different topics. It doesn't have
Yeah.
to be around chronic illness, but it
So it's not
basically,
always a heavy conversation. It can
no.
also be quite light and just
Yeah,
having a community of support around just normal day-to-day things, not always, oh, I'm going through X and
no,
I need help with
absolutely
that.
not.
Okay.
Yeah. And that is the one thing I don't want it to be a heavy group because it's
Yeah.
already heavy, you know?
Yeah.
And if I can create a little bit of light in
Yeah.
someone's life for just that evening, that moment, that call, then I'm just very happy. It doesn't mean that we shy away from heavy emotions.
Yeah. That was going to be my question. Like, do you then still have some of those topics that people can bring up, and how are they able to bring these up? Is there a form of saying before, hey, I want to talk about this, or is it just more on the moment, giving people the space to do it?
It's in the moment, giving people the
Okay.
space. What I see with the connect calls is that the people that are coming online are usually the ones who either have the energy to hold space for others or
Yeah.
have something that they want to share or talk about. But it can be like, I just bought a house and I want to share it, or I've had such a
Yeah.
good month and I'm just super happy and I want to share some tips, or I've had a good session with my physio and she taught me XYZ. It can literally be about everything. And then also there are people who are like, I'm just really struggling. I don't know what to do. Or
Yeah.
in another session that we've had, just having some follow-up questions on that. So that is the beauty of the Spoonies Connect. And it really isn't a heavy
No.
thing.
And I remember that sometimes, and you do this as well when you're hosting, that if you don't have the energy to necessarily have your camera on, you let people just be there in the background and support, and so they can attend in any way that they feel suitable. Not, it doesn't have to be that you're super present and on video and talking. You can just be there in the background and add your questions into the chat. That's also how you've set it up, correct?
Yeah. And it's also for myself. Like, I sometimes lay in bed with my PJs on. I'm like, I cannot, I'm here because I'm hosting and I facilitate and I want to support. But other than that, my body is resting in pajamas and in bed, so I also show up in the way that I am feeling at that moment.
Yeah. Okay.
So I highly encourage others to do so.
That's stage 2.
Yeah.
What's stage 3?
Connect. Spoonies Learn. That is another monthly call. So we have 2 monthly calls.
So it happens bi-weekly, every 2 weeks.
Yeah. So one is the Spoonies Connect. The other one is the Spoonies Learn. Spoonies Learn is more educational. So it's either me hosting a somatic session myself or giving a workshop around mind-body connection or around pain education or symptom education, how that works in your brain. Or it can be a guest speaker who comes in to talk about a certain subject. And that could be anything. We've had intimacy coaches. We've had 2 women who spoke about motherhood, where one of them chose for motherhood and the other one didn't. And, how did they come to that decision? We had a breathwork specialist. We spoke about pacing. So basically, how do you divide? Pacing means like, how do you divide your spoons over the day?
Ah, okay. Gotcha.
It's basically that. So there's loads of different topics that we're discussing. It's not all necessarily holistic, but there is more of the holistic sessions in there because I feel that is less accessible because usually it's not covered by health insurance, etc. So I tend to invite people who have a different view on healing. So that's the Spoonies Learn or again, host it myself. So that's more educational, more getting tips and tricks. It's more presentation style or workshop style. Yeah.
And what if, because a few things you mentioned, about like breath work or doing a meditation or doing more of the holistic stuff. What if I'm not, and I'm a female, let's say I'm, Rebecca, who's looking to join, and I've not done any of this stuff. Is it still a place for me to join where I'm maybe not in that spiritual mindset? Like, can I still join these sessions? Do I still get something out of it, even if I'm not that type of person?
Yeah, I mean, you would have to figure out if is for you, but the connection side is very down to earth. It's literally reaching out to people and say, hey, can I ask for your help? I mean, I am a spiritual person and I am incorporating that as well in the work that I do because it's part of me and I want to show up authentically and I want to show up as myself. So there will always be a little bit of meditation in there.
Yeah.
At the same time, I strongly believe in the core of my bones that some sort of form of meditation is helping people on their healing journey because the people with, this is a little bit off topic, but like people with chronic illness or chronic pain have a nervous system that is constantly on. It's constantly firing up. And we don't know, and this is subconsciously, so that's not a guilt thing or someone to blame, but we don't know how to calm that down anymore. And we need to find a way to calm that nervous system down so we can heal again. And one way to do that is through meditation or through at least sitting in silence for a little bit. So that is one of the things why, for example, meditation I've really add in because I so strongly believe that we need that moment to calm down our nervous systems.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Just interested to see whether it's for everyone. Sounds like it is.
Yeah.
And
the last
stage
one
4.
Then. Yeah, stage 4. Spoonies Extra. And that is basically the library, let's say, of everything that we've done. So all of the previous Spoonies Learn sessions, yoga sessions, meditations that I
These are live, the
exclusively...
yoga sessions?
Yoga sessions are live, and then you have a recording for a few days after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
There are some videos as well that are there that were specifically created for the community. They
Okay.
are available at all times. There is meditations that I've made exclusively for the community. There's a workbook as well that you can use. So it's basically like the library of all the
Yeah.
stuff and tools
the
that you can use. Yeah. So that was
Nice.
part 4. So that is Spoonies community.
And I know the answer, but you have decided to only open up the Spoonies community once every quarter, like once every 3 months. That right? And what's the thinking or rationale behind that?
Yeah, that is correct. It's not even actually, I wanted to do once every quarter. It turned out to be once every 6 months, something like that. So yes, I will open the doors again in February as well.
Okay.
That's the first time I'm announcing it.
Woo!
The beginning
Exclusive.
of yeah, exclusive content. The reason why I've done this is because, again, safety takes my priority. So I don't want it to be a place where people just come in, go out, come in, go out as they please.
Yeah.
To me, it's really important to keep that community feel. And I know the group will grow bigger and that is fine, but still a safe container of people that get to know each other for at least 3 months before new people come in. And so for me, it really is a safety thing. It's also a commitment thing. I want people to commit for the first 3 months because, again, safety thing. But also, I don't think and believe that you can decide whether you like something or not in one session or in one go.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So give yourself some time and grace to get used to it, to get a feel of the group, to see if it, if it does something for you. So yeah, that's the reason why I've chosen for a not open door all the time community, but closed doors. And yes, so in February, the 1st of Feb, I will open the doors again to the community. But this is very low key. I'm going to do it under the radar. Podcast, newsletter. That's where I will announce it. I'll probably host 1 or 2 webinars as well during those days, just for people if they want to have a feel of what it's like in the community, what it's like to work with me. Yeah. But it's going to be under the radar. There's not going to be a big launch. There's not going to be big Instagram stuff. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And how big is the community at the moment?
We are with 20 members in total at the moment. I mean, you saw me on Tuesday. I got off the call on Tuesday night and I just, Marcus was in the bedroom and I just got into the room. I was like,
I got banished to the bedroom.
Yeah, sorry. It's like, I love this group of women. It's just so nice. Like everyone is so friendly, so nice and so vulnerable.
I can tell it was a good session because you came back and it was, the session normally start at what, 7:30 p.m.? 7 p.m. And it was on you do it for an hour and then normally that 8 till 10, you're tired, you'll want to be relax and do something. You had so much energy. You were like bouncing around the house, like, let's go. And I could see that you were super happy with how it went. And, I was getting the fire on that was in the living room as well and coming in to add wood. And I could hear you helping people and asking questions and I could hear them responding back, but also talking to each other. And you could really sense that belonging and just how people were being together and feeling comfortable together and helping. But yeah, it was super nice to hear this as well because, I really see the value that people are getting out of it.
Yeah. And I think it's exactly that. Like, you're so right. I had one of the girls texted afterwards and she said, I had a really shitty day. I had migraine. I had really severe trauma therapy and I really didn't feel like it. But I felt, what she say? Like, I felt the love between you girls so much and it really made my day. It's like, that's what I mean. Like if I can give those little sparks of light in someone's day, again, because it's not that heavy. Like we also laugh a lot and, we joke around and there is space for also the emotions. But
Yeah.
there is so much love for each other, and it's a lot of encouragement and support. And a really good thing about this is, again, like, you don't need to explain yourself, and that is
No.
so nice. You can
Yeah.
just say, like, I've had a day with so much fatigue.
Yeah.
That's it. Done. Like,
That's
period.
it.
Like, nobody needs to know any other
Yeah.
details. Like, okay, have you tried this? Or can you make it come for yourself? How can you be kind to yourself, you know?
Yep. And
Yeah.
this community now it's not a Dutch community. It's not an
No.
English community. It's all across the globe. You've got people from all different countries right now. Is there somewhere in the future you're thinking about bringing everyone together and getting this community in person?
Oh my God, I'm so excited that you're asking this. It feels like a little hint,
Because
like
I
a
don't know.
little.
Like
Oh,
I'm thinking off the top of my head whether this would be a good thing for this later this year.
well, I didn't talk to you about it yet, but so one of my ideas, hopefully this year, is to go to a place somewhere and hopefully bring as many Spoonies together as
Yeah.
possible to meet somewhere offline, to do like a Spoonies community event, like a small
Sounds good.
one, but where we do, like sessions, breath work,
Mm-hmm.
a really nice, nutritious lunch,
Mm-hmm.
rest, lots of space for rest as well. So this is definitely one of the ideas that's brewing.
Nice. Brewing. Nice. Love
Yeah.
that. And
Cheers.
so, what have you got planned for the community this year? Like, have you thought about what type of guests or hosts or things that you would like to bring on for the next couple of months?
Yeah, so I know that there are some sessions that kind of required a part 2.
Okay.
Because there was a lot that came up in part 1, and it doesn't feel like that's rounded off yet. So my idea definitely is to bring some of the guest speakers back for part 2. Every
Nice.
quarter, I'm doing a somatic session myself. And there are loads of ideas. Like, I want to really Spoonies community journal,
Okay.
create things like that as well.
Yeah. Like your blogs again that you used to have. Similar?
I want to do blogs as well. But this is a journal so people can track themselves,
Okay.
like, how are they feeling, and have some like prompts of intention setting, gratitude, things like that. So that's a plan. Spoonies community offline event.
Mm-hmm.
That would
Yeah.
be amazing. And other than that, it will be group retreats, which will obviously also be under the name of the Spoonies community.
Mm-hmm.
But retreats, one-on-one and group retreats, will be definitely the focus point of this year.
That is probably a good next episode for us to touch on, which will be what are the retreats. So to give some people an idea already, you have been running a couple of quite a few now, one-on-one personal retreats for people with chronic pain. So it's something you want to do again for this year. What's a general idea of maybe like a snippet or a teaser of what we're going to go through in the next episode? What happens in these retreats?
Transformation.
Short. Okay.
Yeah.
Transformation.
Transformation. New view of symptoms and pain. It's not only chronic pain, though. There's also people with like burnout, anxiety, stress-related symptoms, etc. So it's not only people with chronic pain or chronic illness. So transformation, shedding new light onto their symptoms, taking new steps into their lives, honoring themselves more.
Mm-hmm. And where is it you host these?
That's it. Yeah. Ibiza, obviously.
In Ibiza.
In Ibiza, at our beautiful home. There we have a little casita, the studio that I call my safe cave.
Yeah.
That I call my safe cave, because that's the place where basically lots of my healing happens.
Yeah. Where it started, a lot of it. Yeah.
Exactly. We have obviously the nature here that we definitely use. Yep. We have beautiful, delicious food made by yourself. You're my retreat chef
on the background.
Yeah, which is amazing.
Podcast co-host, chef, everything.
Retreat chef, everything. Thank you.
Everything in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I have a beautiful chalet, like a studio in Santa Gertrudis in the middle of the island, where I host my sessions. Lots of somatic work, movement work. I always have a guest facilitator come on as well. So you
nice.
always have another type of session in there as well.
Yeah.
And lots of time for rest, reflection, journaling, going inwards.
Super nice.
Yeah,
Can't wait to
in
touch
short.
more on it on future. I was in short. That was good for you. That was impressive. That was,
Right?
I think, under a minute and a half.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
No, yeah.
Back on the subject of community.
Yeah.
You're opening up the doors again February 1st.
Yeah.
Just a little bit idea if you want to talk about it or if you want to do this as a share afterwards. Costs, when can people reach out to you? How long does it stay open for? That type of stuff.
The doors stay open for 5 days. So from
Sure.
1st of Feb to the 5th of Feb. I
Yeah.
will host webinars. So if you're interested, sign up like through my website, sign up, send me a DM if you want to. Put your email in there so you have all the information that will come your way. Yeah, doors are open for 5 days. And then cost-wise, so the initial commitment is 3 months. That is €99 for 3 months, where you have access to, again, the Spoonie support, so the Telegram group, Spoonies Connect.
So basically 1, 2, 3, and 4, the bits that we just went through.
Yeah. So the Spoonies support, Spoonies Connect, Spoonies Learn, and Spoonies Extra. So all of the parts that we discussed today. And then afterwards, it's €35 a month. So the first 3 months is, again, initial commitments, but you do get a special price for that.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, it's €35 a month, and it's a monthly automatic withdrawal from your account. Again, I want to keep the price as accessible as possible.
Yeah, of course.
And I think it's a very accessible price for actually what you get in return for it as well. So yeah, that is that basically. And yes, the doors will open on the 1st of Feb. It's super exciting. And, for anyone who has questions, please feel free to ask them. Like my DMs are always open. My email is open. I even have my own WhatsApp number on my website, where you can feel free to reach out and send me a WhatsApp if you have any questions, or if you think, well, I'm not sure if it's for me, or if I'm not sure if it's right now, it's the right moment. Yeah. Just let me know. We'll have a chat. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good place for us to end, probably. More about the community.
I have a question for you.
Oh, okay.
If that's okay.
Go ahead, for sure.
Have you seen any difference in me since the Spoonies community started?
Yeah, I think you've got more energy than before it. I think I've known this about you for years anyway. You get so much energy from being around people or speaking to people. That's what you were like in those early times of us being together, and have been ever since. But, I see, one, you being able to just be in a community itself and be able to talk about these things. Also for yourself, you don't shy away from sharing what's going on in your world. It's not just about other people. You love helping people. And I think that's one thing that you're trying to do with the community, is support people where you didn't have that support yourself. And share wisdom, guidance, and information, which is also one of the biggest traits that you have, which is that, you love learning and you love sharing and getting people to understand what's going on. So I see just you having a lot of energy and happiness in this community, and I see it through the responses that you get and how people are with you. I think if this community was around when you were going through this in your darker period, I think it would have been unbelievable. And I think that's what the beauty of this is right now, is that you're there to support those people that are going through this. And like you said, it's a super accessible price. Like, I think it's really not expensive for people to join and to be a part of. And with everything you do, I see the amount of work that you put into it in the background, but I see also the fact that you're doing that for love of other people and to help them. It's not there for anything else. So yeah, I see tons. I think it's great.
Thank you. That's very sweet.
Pleasure. It's the truth. Easy for me to talk about.
Nah, that's sweet. All right. Can we now go back to each other again to see each other?
We can. Indeed. We are not that sloppy in real life, but
no,
we are a little bit.
Probably. I was going to say, if anyone that knows us is listening right now, they probably wouldn't agree with the comment that you just made.
No, true.
All right. Well, then thank you once again for being on the podcast with me and being my co-host. And to everyone who is listening, you would help us massively, yes, us, like myself and Marcus, you would help us massively if you leave a review in the place where you're listening, whether that's Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Share it with people who you think can benefit from it. And then we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.